It's Sunday before my Never Summer 100K race. So I'm setting up my car now for car camping for 2 nights. Taking off Friday, hopefully by 10:30 a.m., 4-hour drive. Get there, set up camp, pack a pickup, and relax before the race. I do not like to rush around. So anyway, I have a 2018 Subaru Crosstrek that I bought last year, used of course. It only had 3,000 miles on it when I bought it. I like it because it's not too big. But I'll be changing this, converting this into car camping for 2 nights. So this is what it's going to look. This is what it looks like before. And I'll show you guys what my setup is and a couple of things I bring. I do not get too elaborate in my setup, just bare essentials basically, with a couple conveniences, which I'll show you. Okay, just starting to put stuff into my car. One of the first things is a nice air mattress that I have, and I car camped with this already once this year, and it's comfortable. Let me show you what it is. So that's the brand. You can see the size. It's 30 inches wide by 77 inches long, 3 inches thick. Self-inflating air mattress. It works really well. I'll show you as soon as I put it in the car. So back seat, of course, on this folds down, and you can see I've got the liners on the back seat, and on the rear cargo area got the liner. Next I'll throw in my Army surplus blanket. So there's the blanket on, now the air mattress. Okay, so you can see the air mattress, self-inflating. It's got the valves on the end here, and you can see it's pretty long. So what I do is fold it downward behind the front 2 seats. Okay, so actually I fold it underneath itself at the rear, because that's where my head's going to be going, and it's a little lower there. Okay, my sleeping bag, which I just noticed the same brand as my air mattress. It's an Alps. Alps Mountaineering. And this one here, see the model, Crescent Lake, and it's rated for 0 degrees Fahrenheit. So of course I put the front passenger seat all the way forward. Sleeping bag in there, the mattress, my pillow, and now all my camping accessories will go on this side, behind the driver's seat. So I recently picked up my Jackery. I used it on my last car camping trip, and it just worked awesome. Plenty of power. I have the Jackery Explorer 1000, and as it's states, it's 1000 watts, but you got 3 AC plug-ins, you've got 4 different types of USB plug-ins, and then this will tell you how much power you got left on it, the input, output. And I picked up the solar panels with it, 2 100-watt solar panels. That's how it looks like when it's folded. And when you have it out, you plug that in, of course, to the Jackery to charge it up, which takes about 8 hours if it's totally empty, to charge it up with the solar panels, and it takes about 8 hours to charge it up if you have it plugged into your 12 volt in the car. It takes about 4 hours to fully charge it if you plug it in before you hit the road, the regular wall outlet in the house. It really works well. So what I do with the solar panels, I put them underneath my sleeping pad on the head side, which is a little lower than my feet side. So by folding my sleeping pad underneath itself here, solar panels there, I get a really flat laying surface to sleep on. My other major accessory is my refrigerator. I've had this thing for about 8 or 10 years. It's worked really well. It's not the biggest, but Dometic 10.5 liter volume. As you can see, I just turned it on, plugged it in. It's telling me the inside 70 degrees, and then you can just set it, change it. It's good for fridge, or you can use the whole thing as a freezer. Inside here, it's enough space for me for a good 2 or 3 day trip. And this model is CDF-11. It's not the biggest, but it has worked well for me. And this is the container that I keep all my camping stuff in. This is about 2 feet long, 15 feet wide, about 13 feet high. And this just has a lot of different stuff in here. Okay, well, it's good I'm doing this so I can reorganize this bin here, but you can see the stuff I carry with me. A pan here to use on, I have a single burner hot plate, which is at work right now, but I have a bunch of forks, knives, spoons here. Got a bunch of utensils here for barbecuing. I've got a couple kids' walkie-talkies, toilet paper, some rope, some extra tent pegs, because sometimes I do tent camp. Some more pots and pans to cook on. A little propane burner set up to cook on too. My frying pan. Another pan I could cook on. Cutting board. Couple different sizes of thermoses. Some extra bags to store food and stuff in. Extension cord. So as you can see, I have about everything I need to, prepare some food for a couple days. So it works well for me. Okay, I'm almost done. So there's my fridge, and right next to it I put my Jackery, and then my container with all my camping, cooking gear and such. And this really is nice at night. When I'm laying here, I can use it as a table, or if I'm sitting here at the rear of the car with the hatch open, use it as a table. Then I have nice access to my cold drinks and stuff like that. This light right here works awesome. It's a USB plug-in. I will plug it into my Jackery, and it's very bright at night, and it does not get hot to the touch. It is this brand right here. You can see that. Anyway, it's like $12 on Amazon. So almost done. Okay, so I'm laying in the car, and I lay this way so my feet can lay on the center console. Gives me a couple extra inches. My front passenger seat is all the way forward right now. But laying this way, it's plenty of room. Plenty. Even though this is a pretty small car. Anyway, you can see how I have access to all my stuff. So just for a reference, I'm 5'8", and my head is all the way up to the tailgate, and this is me right there. But if I want to stretch yet, I still got a little more extra room. So for me, 5'8", works good. As far as other storage behind the passenger seat, I have, of course, all that room there, and behind the driver's seat, I will be stuffing more items there. Usually it's my shoes and running gear, stuff like that. So at the moment, I do not have any bug screens or sunshades, which I want to get, but my rear windows to clear the rear tailgate area is tinted, pretty dark. Of course, if it's nighttime, the lights are on, they'll be able to see me. But it works for now. It's going to have to work for never summer because I don't have time to order bug screens or sunshades. But that's my cozy little setup, and it works very well for one person. I guess if you needed to sleep too, you could put all this other stuff here either in the front two seats or set it outside. And my Jackery there will run my fridge and laptop and cell phone easily for 2, maybe 3 days before I need to charge it up at all again. So that's about it. That's my tour of my car camping setup. I'm looking forward to Never Summer. I leave later this week, and I'll camp for 2 nights. Never Summer is a 64-mile race in Gould, Colorado, for over 14,000 feet of climbing. So it's going to definitely be one of my hardest races I've ever ran, but I'm looking forward to it. Okay, just a couple other things. I do always travel with a toolkit, and part of that is a socket set. So what I do is put that socket set underneath the Jackery. It raises it up so easier, to get to the plugins when I need to use them. And when I'm traveling down the road, this Jackery will be plugged into the 12 volt of the car. So as I'm driving, it will charge the Jackery, and then my fridge will always be plugged in to the Jackery to keep all my drinks and food cold. So that's how that works. Isn't this a cute setup? I just love it. And what I really like about this setup too is I don't have to carry any roof rack. I just a couple weeks ago went on a road trip and ran the Silverton Alpine Marathon, and I live in Colorado Springs, so the whole road trip was over 600 miles. And again, this is a 2018 Subaru Crosstrek, and I got an average of 40 miles per gallon during that whole trip, and that's going over mountain passes and stuff. So I was really pleased about that. That was just awesome. Yeah. I used to have a Jeep Wrangler before, a 2-door Rubicon. I was stopping a lot to fuel up. I was only getting 15 miles per gallon here in town, and if I did a road trip, I was getting down to 12. So that was bad. So I really, really like this car. So one last look. Yep.